Consider supporting the Sci-Fi Collective on Patreon from only $1 a month. Link below in the description.
Hello and welcome to the Sci-Fi Collective. I'm Jude and I'm here with Wayne, and I thought today we would record our first ever follow-up to a Convince Me video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Basically, I got a new TV app today in my new house, and straight away the first thing that popped up on the screen was Ghostbusters.
Okay,
The new one. And I just thought, you know what? So I've been in the house for weeks watching old DVDs, what I've dragged out of boxes, what I forgot I even had. Been watching all sorts over and over again. But when that came up, I thought, you know what? Sod it. I'm going to do it. And
what was the initial response from it?
honestly, I haven't gone back to watch our Convince Me video of you and me on the Sci-Fi Collective here, but I think I kind of would go with what I think I remember you saying, where it's not as bad as people make out. I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, I loved it, can't wait to watch it again, but I would watch it again.
Yeah.
I might not be the person to say let's put Ghostbusters on. Like if one of my kids said, oh, could we watch it again, I'd just say yeah, sure. But it did not.
That's exactly it.
It did not warrant the response that I saw online when it came out at the cinema and on DVD and whatnot. I enjoyed it.
Which to me has because I watched it at home, so I never watched it at the cinema. But because of the poor feedback from fans and from the box office, there isn't going to be a continuation of that universe, I don't think.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling. I mean, there was so much backlash there. Like, now that it's been established, like, those fans can now make their sort of voice, or whatever you want to call it, heard by just not turning up.
Yeah.
And I guess that the producers wouldn't want to risk that now. Which is a shame, because they put the stuff in there at the end. They have the little teaser at the end where they just where
they're in the firehouse.
Yeah, and they said, "Who's Zool?" or something like that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, right? You really have to treat it like its own beast.
That's what I did. I just thought, I'm gonna watch this. I'm not gonna think about the old movies. I'm not gonna go in thinking like, right, this better be as good as the old stuff. This better not ruin or piss over the old stuff. Just sit down and just enjoy the movie and just forget about everything you knew about the originals. And that's what I did, and I enjoyed it. I watched it with my 2-year-old, and obviously he doesn't understand everything what's going on, but he sat there, chilled out, watching the majority of the film, and he quite enjoyed it. I guess it's all the colours and stuff going on, and
yeah, well, that's what I found as well, because I've watched it multiple times with my kids, because it is an easygoing, funny family movie.
Yeah, I'd agree. It helps. I guess it would help, anyone that's part of a family, like mums or dads. It makes it a lot easier to enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. And also, it's being that I've got 2 daughters, it's also good to have another film where you have female protagonists.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and other than reading about all silly people at the time, like, I just didn't think about that once. I don't have any daughters. I've got 2 sons, but guys like me and you, we don't think about that. It's good when you do take a moment to stop and think. It's like, yeah, that wasn't around 20 years ago, and it is great, but it shouldn't be a thing, shouldn't be an issue.
No, exactly. But also, I have to say, what a shining light Chris Hemsworth was in that movie. He was as funny as fuck.
Definitely, yeah. I wasn't expecting that much from him, but yeah, it was very good. Even in the credits, he's dancing away.
Yeah. And I just the thing is, I think what would have worked better, because I was one of those people that was butthurt about the new Ghostbusters coming out, simply because it wasn't a continuation of the universe.
Yeah, I think you said that in the previous video, and I understand that, and I would have wanted that too, but as I said, I just went into this not knowing all these facts already from people like yourself, like telling me and trying to convince me, but just go into it with blank slate. And I think if that's what everyone does and just treats it as its own thing. I mean, there's all these sort of little tributes in there. You've got the actors, you've got the locations. It's odd. It is an odd one. The fact that they've decided to have all that stuff in there, but not truly acknowledge the original Ghostbusters.
Well, that's the thing. I think that it would have put the fanboys out of their predicament, and it would have then also helped the film tremendously at the box office.
I mean, there was like one line in the movie, like where they're in the mayor's office, and they said like, "Oh, things like this happen all the time. It's happened here before. People just forget about it."
Yeah,
and that was the only part where it felt like they were referring to the old movies. But it didn't go any further than that.
No, I think that was a tongue-in-cheek poke at the old movies. But the thing is, I think the chemistry between the girls was fantastic. I think the majority of the humour was good enough.
I think so, and I would also say, I think I sort of said something like this before seeing the film. Like, I think the trailers actually did do a bad job or a good job at making it look worse than it was, making it look stupider than it was. Especially the character Patty, she didn't come off well in the trailers. But when I watched the film, it wasn't as bad at all as the trailers made it look.
No, exactly. Yeah, no. Whoever made those trailers fucks the film.
Yeah.
But the thing is, all of those elements were there. But if they had, rather than making it an origin movie, had made it a passing of the torch movie,
I agree.
I think it would have been a winner.
And for fuck's sake, they even had the guys there.
Yeah, exactly.
Could have done it. People would have much rather have seen Ray, Peter, and Winston rather than whoever the hell they were in this film.
Yeah. No, I know they would have done, and
they're still going to get paid.
But at the same time, you wouldn't have you would have been able to get all the boys. I think Bill Murray just wanted to be killed off in the first few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah,
but which would have been fine.
The Han Solo of the Ghostbusters universe.
Yeah, and but the thing is, I think that's a missed opportunity. So, but we can't change that. But looking at the new Ghostbusters as its own thing, I think it's worth checking out if people haven't checked it out already.
Yeah, well, now that I've watched it, I would say to people who were like me, who just thought, no, I don't want to waste my 1.5 to 2 hours on that. I'd say just try it, especially if you've got kids, because your kids are probably going to love it.
And also, then that's a gateway drug to get them onto the original Ghostbusters as well.
Which they might not have seen otherwise. But one last thing I'm going to say is I know Ghostbusters 2 didn't do as well as the first one.
I loved it.
Yeah, I still loved it. Obviously, it's not as good as the first one, but I still loved it. But I love the way that film starts with them taking the piss out of themselves, being like kids entertainers at a party.
Yes.
They could so easily do something like that with the new one, and I honestly now hope that they do. that they do come back with a sequel. Maybe leave it like 4 or 5 years or something. Just let people forget about it, and then immediately, like the first trailers can be taking the piss out of themselves in the trailers.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like make people laugh straight away. You know, and have a laugh at themselves, and maybe they could do it and make the second one even bigger than the first.
Well, that's the thing. I personally, after watching this one, I would support the next one at the cinema.
I think I would too. Now I would. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Going for, I really do think whoever made that initial fucking trailer really screwed the film over.
I do. Yeah.
But
there's lots of little different details that, you know, I think not sabotage the film. I can't think of the word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it definitely didn't help it. That's
Yeah.
for sure. But no, I love your idea. I think because after watching the film, the first thing I thought was, "Fuck! It's a shame there ain't going to be another one."
Mm.
And that was the first thing that I thought.
There's always time. There's always time, isn't there? I think that would be a good start to give it a good bit of time, like 4 or 5 years. Let people forget about it.
Mhm.
You never know.
You never know. But still, if you have watched Ghostbusters, let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Remember to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. But thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.